Like to officially welcome all of you to another one of our co-founder trainings that we do every Monday and Thursday every week. This happens to be the Thursday edition on Thursday, the 7th of August at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always meet at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we get together. So we just got done playing a video talking about how to max out the lending platform, just like max it, get the most that you can from it, right? So let me tell you guys, if we can get the community on board with behavior, desired behavior, then we can actually manifest everybody having that kind of a gain. How does that sound?
It sounds perfect.
Sounds excellent.
Amazing.
Okay.
Right.
Really good.
So it's really the community. So if we can be good at using that video that I just put out there, it's a short one, gets right to the point of how to max this thing out. A lot of you that are in the West or that are in Western or developed countries, you can come up with $1,500 up front, okay? For a lot of you guys in the US, Canada, Australia, Europe. So many of you can do that and just put 1,500 in right away. And what's great is that you actually will make a significant, it'll move the price quite a bit. Okay. Now, what if the majority of the people borrowing money don't actually need money for any reason? Think about that for a second. Well, then they're perfect to be lenders, aren't they? So imagine
Yep.
that. So I'm going to wrap up today on that point of, that I'm going to talk about, you borrow money to be a lender. So in really, it's like a double dip. Okay. But just all by itself, if anybody in the world is loose for $400, like coming up with $400, not a big deal. So anybody in the world that falls in that category could basically say, okay, then this is just a 60-day process that I could, when I need to come up with the $400, which would be after 30 days, right? Come up with the $400 and pay off my loans and pick up the rebate, and that's like free money, $200 a month, free money. So if you were being offered $200, and you are being offered, actually we are offering that. We're offering you $200 of free money every month. If you got 400 to cover it for a couple of days, right? Then the rebate will basically wash out, what you put in. Okay, so just to review that process, let's say you did 4 loans on your first day, and you went to those 4 loans, then you became a lender, over the next 4 days on those 4 loans that got the money, you borrowed the money for. And then a month later, you come up with $400. Like I said, this is for people that are loose for the $400, right? That's who I'm talking to right now. So if you're not one of those people, just realize I'm talking to people that are loose for $400. So they come up with the $400 after 30 days, they pay off their loans, okay? And then a month later, they're going to get a $400 rebate. Okay, so they came up with 400, and a month after that, they get 400, and that washes out what they came up with. Does that make sense? But what about the original 200? So that original 200, even if you weren't a lender, that would just still be sitting there. That's the free money. The 200 is the free money on the front end. But if you put that 200 to work, you're double dipping. Now you're in a position that that 200 is working for you, and so you're going to get $400 off that 200, right? So now you're getting 400 instead of 200. So you doubled it by using the money. I said I was going to say this at the end, but I guess I got on a roll. Yeah, I'm starting out with it, but I do want to come back to it at the end anyway, because some of you are in a position, and again, we're looking for a certain behavior, right? And so some of you can come up with $1,500, no problem, right away. Yeah. And I'm talking to you now. those of you that it's not an issue, you should go ahead and, get yourself $1,500 of PML coin, okay? So that you can basically ignite that process I just showed you on the video, okay? Because like 17,000 is a pretty good return in a year off of 1,500. Am I right? And you got your
Yes, sir.
1,500 back after like 4 months,
Yes,
So
sir.
that's a good deal, right?
Yes.
And so the only real question is, will there be enough borrowers, right? Will there be enough borrowers, which leads back to the point I started and I'm saying I'm going to end with, right? That all of you should be borrowers. Then we have flow happening on both the lending and the borrowing side, right? Okay, and then later on we'll
Free
allow people
money.
to get free money. And then we're gonna allow people that at the end of the month we'll set it up so that there'll be a bridge between the pool funding website and the PML lending site so that people could use their holding, right? They haven't received it yet, but they could use the coins that are sitting there seasoning for 90 days as collateral. How about that? That
Sounds
way,
great.
someone could join pool funding on the first
That sounds
day
great.
and use the money they got from the giveaway to go ahead and use that as collateral to get 2 loans on their first day, right? And then the next day they could get 2 more, and then now they're picking up the free money, and they're brand new, right? And they're going to feel like this is like better than ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be excited. That's what we want. We want new people to be excited. So for this to properly balance, we want a couple of things. People that can come up with $1,500, they should. Okay, they should, because there's no reason not to. You got every guarantee you could ever want in anything. You're not going to find a better package of guarantees than you find here with this offer. So put that 1,500 to work. Max out the thing. Okay. You that do that are the ones that are going to move the price the most. Does that make sense, guys? You that come up with $1,500, you're going to be the ones pushing the price up more than other people. Okay. And then for this, I would say the smaller group of people that actually do have some immediate need, and they actually need to use the money that they're borrowing for, and they need to actually cash it out, right? So that's a smaller group of people, and those people that have that, they have that do that, but they're the ones bringing the price down. But they're bringing the price down, maybe $50 or $100, when they do that, right? They do 1 or 2 loans, or maybe they have a need for $200, and maybe they bring the price down by $200 when they do 4 loans all in one whack. But again, we're telling people to borrow responsibly. We want people to have the greatest amount of confidence that they could pay it back in PML coin. But regardless if they do or not, it is covered. But as far as wanting the right action on our the chart, in order for that to happen, we want people to be responsible. So we're not just offering magic money here where you don't have to be responsible and you don't have to care, right? We're not saying that. We're saying borrow responsibly. If you feel like you can pay back 100, then feel free to borrow it. Paying it back means you got to come up with 200, right? But the rebate will basically, um, will basically make it like the original 50 that you borrowed on each of these units. It'll be like free money for them, but it takes 2 months for it to experience the full effect. So what I want to do is look at the chart real quick. We're looking great, guys. I feel so happy about this right now. And I also want to look at the holders as well. I want to show you there some things over here. Let's look at this one. Okay. Look at that chart, guys. So we're at, according to this, 62,000 right now. Okay.
Trending well.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good. And if you look, look at where this red line is right here. I don't know if you can see that red line, but it basically shows you the price where it's at, the red line. It's right at the top of this one, right at the top of that one. It's above this top. It's above this top, and it's above this top. It's not quite as high as this one, but we're so close to making a new high, and that'll put us at about $70,000, when we hit the new high. Okay. And so we're moving away from that $50,000 floor, and that's a very good thing. So there's 50,000 right there. Okay. And we got some distance between us and it feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good to create some distance there?
Yep, that's looking
Yes.
really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now realize that the next person that puts 1,500 right here, driving the price up above 70,000, the next person that does that, they're the biggest winner in the group of people that do 1,500 in the short run here, because obviously we've hit a shelf here. That's a shelf, right? But so the next leg up
Yes.
to 100,000 is going to take about maybe 4 or 5 of you putting 1,500 in to get us up into there, and then that might be a brief shelf. I like to see the shelf be about this long and not this long, right? I like to see the shelf smaller like this here instead of all of that. We don't have to have a long shelf like that every time. I mean, compared to Bitcoin, this is moving super fast. You know what I'm saying? This is like
Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez, right? Compared to Bitcoin. But we want to see the price continue to go up and up and up. And the first price target is 100,000. The second price target will be 200,000. The third price target will be 500,000, and the fourth price target will be 1 million. And I'd like to see us make that happen within the next 90 days. Hit all of those targets. Okay. And you might be going, holy cow, what that? Wait, what we talking about? Okay, guys, we've done it before. Come on. You've been through this how many times already? I mean, just go to the holders and realize that tells you everything you need to know. Okay, obviously this is the stockpile, right? On PML. Okay, so that's not it. Technically that's not in the market. Okay, this right here is the bucket. Okay, so every time you get paid in PML, whether you're getting paid as a borrower, $50, or you're getting paid back as a lender and you chose to get paid back in PML, it's coming from this bucket. You follow me so far, guys?
So far, yep.
Yes.
All right. This one right here is my liquidity. Okay, so this is basically if I go here, it's called PML, version 3 liquidity. So that's what that is. So what I did is I sucked out a bunch of coin. I started with 1 coin, and then I sucked a whole bunch of it back out, right? And that's kind of what remains right now is what I sucked out. Okay, so that's me. Okay, and then this is the guarantee wallet right there. Well, that's also me. So in a way, I could say me, 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 me. Okay, so far so good, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm not selling on the market, so I'm not pushing the price down. Okay. Now we've got well. Okay. The wells are well behaved. Okay. Feel good about them. All right. And then over here we have the contract. You see the contract there? Number 7. It's only got 3% of a coin, guys. Okay, when this gets to like 2.5%, we'll be at $100,000. So we're only a 0.5% away from a $100,000 price point. Okay, so we want to basically evaporate or dry this up. Okay, and then what this one's a well. I recognize the addresses of the wells. I'm engaging them a lot. These are all wells here. I mean, these are the rest of your members, right? But by the time we're talking about members, we're talking about, less than 1% of a coin, less than 1% of a coin, even if you're not a well. So I figure more wells are going to pile in here and do the $1,500 thing. You know what I'm saying? And then we come down to the pancake swap, and pancake swap is got 0.003. So that's a third of 1%. You follow my math?
Yes.
Yep.
So PancakeSwap will let you trade with, a third of 1% of the valuation, whatever the price might be. That's what it's going to let you play with. You know what I'm saying? And then if it gets too low, then it has to take money out of the contract up here. So it takes money out of here, out of the 3%. Okay. So that's kind of a 10-to-1 ratio there between the contract and what's in here. Now, we did get like, at least the last time I looked, we had um wiped out the contract on PFG. So so basically the contract was completely dried out on PF on our gold coin. Okay, and the only thing left was the liquidity on the pancake swap. Okay, why is that important? Because then this is all that the software's got to play with. It has to move the price really quick. Does that make sense? But if it's going to go down, there has to be a seller. But can you see here? 18 all the way up to 1, there's no sellers. Okay, none of these are sellers, and probably most of the people on the first page here, the first 50, they're not sellers either. And this one down here has got 0.009, right? So now we're talking about a crazy small number, right? That might be, I don't know, maybe that's $100, something like that. It's small, guys. Okay, so there's only 122 holders at this point, but on the first page, no one has any ammunition here at all. Nobody has any ammunition really to bring the price down. So I'm telling you just how to read the information. Okay, just teaching you how to read, okay, that since there's nobody with ammunition to push the price down, then what does that tell you the price is going to do?
Go up.
Go up.
Going to go up, right? But yeah, there's always people getting loans every day, and some of them are going to sell. But if I teach the community to proper behavior, is we want, I don't know, maybe like a 70-30 or an 80-20, where we've got 70 or 80% of the people taking out loans don't need them. In fact, they might just be doing it to double dip on the free money offer. Okay. Because then they can become a borrower and a lender with the same money, right? And they're good to pay it back in PML, because what we want is this. Just working with one unit. This is what we want. We want the lender to go to the market, spend $50, buy $50 of PML, and lend it. Okay, so that $50 is a positive, makes the chart go up, right? At the end of 30 days, the borrower, what we want, the behavior we want them to go to the market. Okay, so we want the borrower to go to the market, and they buy $100 of PML to pay off the loan, and then a month later they're going to get a rebate of $100. So good, right? So
Good.
that means that we've got $150 pressure moving up. Okay. I hope I'm doing this in a way you're all following me, because if you can capture what I'm laying down
Very
here,
good.
okay,
Yes.
we have $150 of pressure pushing the price up, and only potentially $50 pushing it down. Okay, between the lender and the borrower. Okay,
Makes
because
sense.
the borrower got $50, they could spend it, you know. But what if 70 or 80% of our borrowers didn't need to borrow? They didn't have a need to spend. Therefore, they're not going to impact the chart down 70 to 80% of the time. That's what we want. That's desired behavior, right?
Right. That's maximizing the
Yes.
program.
That's how we get the price to $1 million in 3 months. That's how. But if all of the potential 70, 80% that don't need to borrow, are asleep, and they don't borrow because they're asleep, they're not paying attention about picking up the free money, right? and they don't, they don't get it for some reason. I mean, if someone's put $200 on the table and say, that's yours, are you going to walk away without picking it up? Right?
Oh,
No.
Nobody in their right mind would do that, It's $200 for goodness sake. So that'll pay for a nice lobster dinner, in a 5-star, restaurant in a 5-star hotel. Okay. So you could do some great things for $200. So it's $200, free money. And we want people that don't need to borrow. They don't have a need. And why is that important? Because if all of the people that are borrowing are only the people that have needs, then that's putting a lot of pressure down, isn't it? It's like dripping, drip, 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 down, 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 right? And it's not balanced properly. You follow me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yep, we call them.
Okay, because this is important, because if we get the right behavior, we'll have no problem getting to $1 million. There's nothing stopping us except us. That's the only barrier. So all of you that have a team, you need them to watch this video that I'm recording right now. They need to watch the other video too, right? But it'll be a two for one. So we get the point across to them that, yeah, I know you don't need to borrow, but it's $200 free money. The rebate, makes it free money for you. And it's beneficial to the community, because now there's a whole bunch of borrowers in the system that we're confident that they're not going to drag the price down with the money that they borrowed. Everybody turn their camera on and do this. Okay. More cameras on. Let's see some more cameras on. Okay. This is what we want, guys. Desired behavior. Okay. Let's do it. I mean,
Healthy habits.
and so, yeah. Okay. So back to maxing out this thing. Okay. Let's go look at what's happened to me so far, because I've been, I'm leading by example. What can I say? I'm do as I do. Okay. So this is what I've done. Okay. So we go to the dashboard. I've taken out 4 loans here. Okay. So I've maxed out the amount of loans I could take, and I'm good to pay them all back. No problem. I got $400 to pay that back. Not a problem. Okay. And then to go to the lending side, I've actually issued more loans. Okay. And all but one so far has been taken, and it's a 173. So how close am I? Well, I see 173 right there. So maybe 9, 1. Let me just refresh real quick, just to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 173, 9. So 9. I'm 9 away. I'm 9 away. From mine being picked up. But see, if you guys, catch on to what I'm saying, like 2 of you could come in here and go bam, 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 and then the other one goes bam, 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 and then there's eight of them taken just like that from just 2 people, right? And then my loan will be picked up by the next person, and then I'll be happy about that. But you know what? I'm very confident, because like all of these were, they at one point they were open, and now they're all active loans, right? As of 23 days ago and so on, right? So I'm very confident that I should go ahead and do another loan. Let's make sure I've done the right thing here. I'm in the wrong thing. We go from the guarantee over to ACE. Let's go there and refresh. And 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. I'm done. Okay. That's less than 30 seconds, And now I've got another loan here. So now I've got 2 open, and I'm 205 on this newest one. Okay. So we do have people that are putting out loans every day. So that's why we see a bit of an increase there. I would like to see now more borrowers putting some pressure on this, right? I don't want to see this dry up completely. I want to see flow on both sides. I want to see flow on the lending side, and I want to see flow on the borrowing side, because on the one hand, the lender's getting double their money, and on the other hand, the borrower's getting free money. They both have a reason to do something, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that should go for
Yeah.
everyone. And all of you listening to me right now, you should be both. Should be
Yeah.
both. I mean, if you can't do 400, then do 50. Okay, and then pay back 100, and a month later you'll get 100 back in your rebate. Okay, so the original 50 is like yours free, and if you want, you could go ahead and lend it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you have to come up with $100, it's only $100 for a day or two, and then you get paid back the 100 on the other thing, right? And then it's only like you're borrowing $100 from yourself for a couple of days a month from now, right? If you do it that way.
From your future self.
So even though there's a bunch of you that may not have confidence that you could pay back, $400, do what you can. If you think you can come up with $100, then do one unit. If you think you can do, $200, then do 2 units. You got up to 4, right? So do what you think you could responsibly, cover, because you'll only need to cover it for a couple of days. And then if you borrow it and then you use that to do a loan, you're going to get the 100 back from your borrower, right? And then the rebate's going to come later, another month after that. But then you're already cleared after your borrower pays you back. You're already cleared on the 100 that you went to the market to buy, so that you could pay off your loan, and a day or two later, maybe the same day, might work out. But your borrower pays you back, right? I mean, it even could, because people could pay early. You might get paid back before you need to pay back, so that's also possible. Okay, so anything goes here, but it's all good. Let me share my screen and show you something special. Okay. All right, let's go here. Oh my God, that's weird. So weird. Share. I never seen that before. I got things on top of each other now. Not sure how to stop share. Okay, it's normal again. Okay. I've never seen that before. This Mac does things I never thought it does. It just surprises me. So here in the lending page, you'll notice at the bottom here, it says pay me. You see that right there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
right here below your loans. Okay, so below your offers. Okay, below your offers is pay me, and the default is pay me in PML tokens. That's $100 worth of coin at the time that it's being sent to you. At that time, that's the value of it. Okay, so the moment you're getting it, it's worth $100 at that moment. Okay, so that's what that means. So that's the default. You can change it at any time to collateral, right? And then you could change your mind again. Now I want PML token. And then I get kind of bipolar and start going back and forth like this, and then you start rolling dice and flipping coins, and then it lands on heads, and you decide, oh, we'll stick with the PML tokens. Okay. You can change it as often as you want. How about that for flexibility?
Yeah. That's good.
Really good.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
works.
Hey, you can't lose, right? It's not good, and so if we do a good job on messaging, we get the message out to the community, what we want the community to do. And we want everybody to be a borrower, right? And we want everybody to be a lender, right? And then
Mhm.
we're taking care of each other. We're like a micro economy, already working, functioning. Dee, 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 dee. Yeah, okay. So it works, right? And we don't have to wait, depend, or worry or risk anything, right?
And you
Because
can be the bank.
it's up to us. That's the power of
Okay.
what we're doing, guys. And just imagine what we do here as the community grows, right? It just becomes more and more and more. And see, that's why we want people to see that, yes, 3 3-4 months from now, when you've taken all your money out that you put in the original 1,500 or whatever, 3 or 4 months you've done that, you can know that you're doing that with full confidence because the community has expanded so much that you could take out bigger chunks, like $200 or more. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take it in a little $50 or a little $100. You can do like a chunk, $200, you know? And eventually,
Okay, deal.
as we get bigger and bigger, you may get to a point where, you know, you if you like just the feeling of taking money out, you can do it every day. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's probably better that it's more random, right? Just as needed. Like I said, it's a savings account. That's the way to frame it. That's the way to look at it. It's a savings account that doubles your money monthly, and you just take out as it gets you know, above 2 or 3,000, maybe 4,000. That's the range. That's where you start grabbing bits, you know. And then, you know, make sure you watch the, you know, after you do something, go look at the chart and look at the impact. And if it's a long red candle, then maybe you did too much. So next time, maybe do half of that. You know what I'm saying? And just play, you know, just be sensitive to the chart, right? We're in this together. We're like, remember co-founder training, co-owner, you know, like we're all in this together. Like we own this thing together, guys. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, like a co-op,
It's like
similar
a,
to.
Co-op.
it's very
Yeah.
much like a co-op. It's only better, you know.
Yeah.
A co-op plus and plus more, you know. So, but
Right.
yeah, but all this is based on the idea that we're in this together, and we're creating a situation long term. If you expand what we're doing out to a maturity point, what we're doing is we're creating basically an alternative to the current financial mess that we're in, right? But the alternative we're creating is not a mess. We're creating the solution, right? You know, barber chair style solution, you know? So we're coming up with a really good solution, you know, so that we don't have to be, you know, stuck in somebody else's nightmare, you know, that they created for us, right? So and yeah, it's, you know, I pay attention to what they're saying in the financial world, and it's crazy right now. You know, I mean, and some people you listen to, it sounds like everything's going to blow up tomorrow, and other people will tell you, well, they figured out how to kick the can down the road one more month, one more year, you know, and whatever, you know. Hey, Jeffrey, got your hand up. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I saw earlier today that the stock market has had 6 major crashes, not like the depression, but 6 major, from where it's 40 to 60 to 70% drops
Yeah.
every 5 years over the last 30 years. And they just keep correcting. And I don't think some of their correction is, well, their correction is not going to, it's going to end up losing the dollar. I mean,
Well, it's getting to the point now that we're in this thing called cryptocurrency, and it's its own space, right? The cryptocurrency space, right? That the stock market looks like you know, the turtle going super slow, right? I mean,
right.
it creeps along. So it's getting to the point where nobody's interested in going slow anymore, right? So that's why you see everything shifting into the crypto, and it's, you know, a year from now, we're going to recognize that the new financial system is built on the backbone of the blockchain. That's, you know, people will finally admit that that's actually what happened. That it happened last month, by the way. The transition was officially law as of last month. That the
Right.
financial system, you know, it is now backed by the blockchain and not the banks, if you will, right? Hey, Mikyung, how are you today? You got your hand up. You could go ahead and
Oh,
unmute.
hello. Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
It's a really brilliant idea that, you know, we can be lender and borrower. And
Mhm.
then like myself, I have now 7 or 8, actually 9. 7 are active, 2 are open.
Yeah,
Then
just like me. You're keeping up with me.
yes, yeah,
Wow.
loaned out. Okay, but if I borrow for today, I can do it. I
Yeah,
can lengthen. Okay, but the thing
exactly.
is, yeah, but my question is, are we allowed to do only 4
Yes.
borrowing a
Yes.
month, or
Yes.
like for example, if my money is returned, the first one is like 1 week old. If that is returned, I can pay it back. So
Uh-huh.
then I can have only 3 remaining. So can I do another one? Because it's not like do we have a 4 remaining in within 30 days, or are we allowed to do, even though we paid it off within 30 days, we still
Yeah,
have to wait
our
another 30 days?
our system's not based on technically when it comes to that limitation that you're referring to. The limitation of 4 loans is based on a calendar month, not a 30-day time. So technically,
Calendar.
yeah, right now it's the 7th where you're at, it's the 8th for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 30 days from now we'll be in September, right? And
Uh-huh.
on September 1st, which is 3 weeks from now,
Uh-huh.
you could do 4 more. And
So
just
it's a calendar. You start for day
yeah,
first,
so the
first of the
borrowing is
month, and
the borrowing is the limitation of 4 is per calendar month.
oh, it's not according to the person, it's according to just calendar.
Four per calendar month per person.
I don't understand. Okay, calendar month. Okay.
Like
From the so from the,
we're in August right now.
yeah.
So you're allowed to take up to 4 loans in the month of August as an individual on the
Uh-huh.
system as an individual borrower on the system.
And then September 1st, I can do another 4.
You could do another 4, so you don't have to wait a whole 30 days. You could just do another 4 in 3 weeks. Because
Excellent.
that's a new calendar month, September.
That's excellent.
That's great,
Okay,
right?
I'm so excited. Yes, it's really brilliant.
It is
I'll do it
brilliant.
right away. Yes. Okay, thank you.
So I need your help, guys, to make sure that we get the desired behavior. And the desired behavior is we want everybody to see themselves on both sides of this, right? And max it out if you can. Be responsible here, right? Because the less situations that people default and they lose their collateral, the better, right? Because the collateral does have a great deal of value, by the way, which I'll probably talk about that next week. It's more than $100, right? Because of the new coin coming out. But so we want people to be responsible so that they get the maximum benefit for what they're able to do. But the people I'm looking at, as I look at your faces and then hear your voices, a lot of you are in the categories I'm talking about. You can come up with 1,500, you can come up with 400, no problem, right? You're in that category. A lot of you don't need money. You don't need the money, right? You don't have a need for to take a loan, right? But I want you to borrow anyway, right? Because that makes you an A+ borrower, right? If you don't need the money and you're borrowing, you're A+, okay? And that's we want like 70 or 80% of our borrowers to be A+. And that's the behavior. If I can make this in a single point for the discussion today, that one. Because then with that thing's gonna flow. That the pipeline, the what's it called? Is it called lender? I know we gave it a name, programmer named it. Lender's pool. Okay, so the lender's pool pipeline here. Okay, so this here is a pipeline as I go up and down the pipeline. I've also called this a rotator, right? But technically it looks more like a pipe than a circle. So I think it's more like a pipe, right? So I'm going to call it a pipeline. So the lender's pool pipeline, we want people to come in here and grab four at a time, chunk, 4 at a time. Now, I'm not talking to people that can't pay back $400, right? I don't want those people to go 4 at a time. I want them to be responsible. So I'm making it very clear that each person has got to evaluate who they are, what they are, and then behave accordingly. Okay. But for many of you that are coming to show up to these meetings, you've got $400, no problem. You cough it up anytime you need to, no problem. And it's only for a couple of days anyway, maybe 1 or 2 days, right? If we make this behavior, the normal thing, right? And then we start teaching people that this is what we normally do. We're both the borrower and the lender. It's normal, right? And that's normal. And when that's true, it's not true right now because, I'm watching. you know.
Mhm.
And so we're going to get the word out to the people that are already in pool funding that they need to, they need to be a borrower, right? Thank you for being a lender, but you should be a borrower too. Oh, Mike, did you want to say one more thing? It looks like you still have your hand up. How's the weather in Montana? Okay. So she still has her hand up. Sorry. She took it
Hmm.
down. Okay. All
I'm
right.
so thankful that you have created this. This is just really, I mean, amazing. It's just amazing. I keep thinking all day long about this. This really give me financial freedom. Amazing. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you.
Oh, you guys feel that? I felt it. Did you feel it? Yeah.
I have to second that.
The sincerity is amazing. Yeah. All right. So
You're empowering people.
Jeffrey, let's run through this one more time. Okay. So let's let's do a little bit of math together and do step by step. Okay.
Okay.
So Jeffrey, let's say that you borrow $200 of coin today. Okay. Now, a month from now, are you pretty confident you could come up with the 400 to cover that?
Yes.
Okay, great. And you realize that even if you weren't a lender, that you cover that with $400, and then a month after that, you're going to get the $400 rebate,
Right.
right? So
Right.
the 400 that you purchased to pay off your lenders, you're getting 400 back in a rebate, the double rebate, okay? And
30 days later.
it's coming to you in PML coin. So like your $400 PML coin went off to the lenders, but a month later you're getting $400 to you as a double rebate. That feels great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But
I
oh
like.
wait,
I,
but wait a minute.
I'm,
What about the 200 you borrowed? That might still be sitting there in your wallet. Oh, maybe you forgot to lend it. So
oh,
but hey, if you didn't forget to lend it, if you didn't forget to lend it, okay, let's reverse this. Let's rewind. Okay, now let's do it with you lending it. So you borrow the 200 and then you lend it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. So now you've lent out the 200, right? And a month later, you come up with $400, pay off your loans, and then like the 31st, the 32nd, the 34th day after, right? You're receiving $100 every day from the borrowers that you lent it to, right? So
right.
now you've got your 400 already back. You didn't have to wait for your rebate, and then later your rebate comes. Now
And
instead of $200, now you got like $800 sitting in your account. All right, I guess it'd be like 600. Yes, 600.
yeah.
And now you've got 800 instead of 600.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's even better by being both the lender and the borrower.
Right.
Yeah,
That,
pretty cool, right?
that's a great incentive to be the bank. We
Yeah,
can be a bank. I mean,
yeah.
they talk about it all over the place.
I mean, we're not talking about going out and getting a bank charter and all that blah blah
Oh
blah. What we're
no.
really talking about is behavior, right? So yeah,
Right.
we can be a bank in the sense that we're going to behave like a bank in the sense that we're a community, we're a private group. Okay, that's by the way, that's our designation at the moment is we're a private group. If you ever anybody asks what are we, well, we're a private group. Now I got a little thing that I shared with Jeffrey earlier, and he got really excited about it. And he does get text messages. Do you guys get text messages on your phone? Okay. I'm just curious in the chat. Could you guys just tell me how many average text? I mean, I'm talking about all text messages, even people that you don't want to hear from or like from places or stuff, all text
Unknown,
messages. Okay.
unknown
Yeah.
senders.
Regardless if you know them or not, on average, how many text messages? Can you put that number into the chat for me? Just tell me the average number of text messages you get every day. The average number of text messages you get every single day. Surprising. Some of you are saying like 100 or more. I see.
I got had 500 today.
Yeah, I'd say we're averaging here about 30. So I guess if we round it off to what the average, what I'm seeing with all the numbers I'm seeing in the chat, you're averaging about 30 text messages every single day. Okay. What if you just immediately replied to every single text message, regardless if it was somebody you knew or didn't know or whatever? They sent you a message. What if you instantly replied back to them with this? You instantly reply back with this. I'll show to you. Let's go here. Okay, if you sent that back to every single person that sent you a text message, you do that 30 times a day. What do you think would happen if you sent this back to 30 people every day? What do you think would happen?
You got to get somebody that would want to find out more,
Right.
even if it was just
10%.
one person.
5%.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is a person would probably say, "What's this?" What right?
My bad.
No, don't get ahead of me. We went through it earlier, Jeffrey. I'm going to take them slowly through the steps.
Okay.
So like you send this as a reply to whatever, it doesn't even matter. They could be just sending you a message about, some special offer that they're putting out there, you know what I'm saying? Or it could just be, they're telling you about the weather where they're at, or that someone just had a heart attack or whatever. It's gonna be all kind of random stuff you get on messages. And you just reply back with this. And then some people are going to look at this, and the natural response will be they'll send you back a message saying, "What is this?" Wouldn't that be pretty normal?
Someone
Very
with
normal.
attitude.
Something like that. What is this?
Yeah.
And then let me tell you the answer that you're going to give them. The answer is, "Oops, wrong send. I'm sorry." Okay.
You see the beauty?
Teaser.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're fishing. We're fishing. Okay. It is about teasing, right? Hey, it's like
We're
dating.
chumming.
It's like
We're chumming.
dating. It's like
We're chumming the
fishing.
water.
It's like life. Okay. So you send the poster right back, like they send you a message and boom, instantly you send them back the poster. Okay. It's easy and fast to do that. And it doesn't even matter. You can put off what they want to talk about and put out what you want to talk about. Right. So you just put that in front of them. They say, "What is this?" And you go, "Oops, wrong send." Shut up. You don't put anything extra. The mistake a lot of you will make is like you'll look at that as a way to start explaining or start selling. No. Oops, wrong send. And then what's that going to do? The emotional state that will put them in is like, wait a minute, wait, you didn't intend this for me? Who are you
Right.
sending this to? I went in on this action, right?
Right.
Right? Don't leave me out, right?
That's brilliant. That's
Okay.
brilliant too.
And then they say, well, wait, well, what do you mean? I can't, I can't have this. And then say, and then the answer would be maybe. Yeah, we're a private
No,
group.
really.
We're a private group, and so this is what you're texting back. We're a private group, and you'd have to jump on a Zoom call to be able to even look at this. So, would you be interested in jumping on a Zoom call? Right? And then boom, that's you got the hook in them good at that point. Get it, guys?
Y'all get
Yeah.
that?
That's 30, if you're fishing as a cast, right? You're casting it, 30 times a day, right? You got juicy bait on there. You know how to play with the fish, right? Have fun with it, right?
Yeah, you
Oops.
tire them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Isn't
Yeah,
that cool?
And then reel them in on a Zoom call. You get them on a Zoom call and say, "Look, this is kind of an exclusive thing. You got to be part of our deal. You got to be like in the club, if you will. But we're not going to have you sign your name in blood or anything like that. But you got to be in on our. We got to be part of what we're doing and in agreement with it. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff we're doing in our private group. So, if you want to know more, we could go deeper, right? See how I'm still fishing. I'm still, getting that hook in there tighter. When people feel like they can't have something, they really want it, right? But if you're selling and selling and selling, you're throwing
Yeah,
up on them.
sure.
You're basically making them feel like, ooh, this guy's gushing. There must be something wrong with it, right?
Because how many people are we getting to come to the Zoom calls right now? Not enough.
Yeah, we could
you
have
know,
more for
to
sure.
explain.
But I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about a one-on-one Zoom call. You and them
Right,
having
right.
a private face-to-face conversation.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I'm
mean.
saying?
Yeah.
Because let's
Right.
face it, out of those 30 messages you're getting, most of them are people you've never met before. Am I right?
Yes.
Out of
Right.
those 30 messages. So you want to go face to face with them, right?
Get them in Zoom.
And just say, yeah, I'm part of a private group. That poster is part of our, is part of our private materials. And you have to be kind of in on what we're doing to be able to take advantage of it. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. And it's a good thing.
And if
Um,
you had the room with being a lender or the borrower, you could show them the process right there. Say, look
Yeah.
at this.
Right. But
Right.
but the thing that I hear in your voice, Jeffrey, that I want to take away from your voice is like the anxiousness to share. I want you to be anxious to tease.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You put a little bit of romance or bromance in it, okay?
Gotcha.
Right? Be a
Duly
teaser
noted.
because
Duly noted.
people respond to that. Okay.
Right.
They want something that they can't have. That's universal. So make it feel like that. Right? The more you do that, the more people they're going to chase you. Otherwise, you're in the explaining business or you're in the convincing business, and it's a terrible business to be in. Trust me.
Comparison business. Yes.
Or the embarrassing business, right? Yeah. Right.
Mm.
You want to be in the business like you're not telling them enough information. They want more. And so I'm not really the guy. And then you bring a third party in like me or your sponsor or a leader and let them close it for you, right? Then they see this is bigger than just one guy, And oh, there's a whole community here. And then they'll run into our YouTube channel and all that, and then they're in like Flynn at that point, right? But
Because
they went through a process of being like, wow, I ran into something that's private and exclusive, and I guess I'm lucky because it was an oops, it was a wrong send, and I got, must be a godsend, right? We want them to look at it like that, guys. That makes
You
sense.
want them to chase us, is what it.
it truly
boils
is.
down. Yeah.
Our offer's too good to throw it around like trash,
Right.
right?
Right.
We should make people, hey, if you're not going to chase me a little bit, then, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
you got to chase me, if you're not chasing me, I'm not interested. Okay.
Yep.
I draw
That
people,
is-
I draw people all the time. I do that. If you look at my life, and if I'm not chased after properly, I draw people like all the time, because that's me, because I value me, And see, when you get to the point where you go like, yeah, I am valuable, and each of you should say that to yourself, I am valuable. In fact, say it now. Just unmute and say, I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am
Valuable.
You deserve to be chased. You really do. Okay. Let them chase you.
Special people in this group.
Our offers are good. And the
Yeah.
thing is that if them chasing you, you get to the finish line faster than if you're chasing them. Right? If you're trying to get to the finish line is getting them signed up and all that, right? And getting them, cough up some money and get going, right? That's the finish line. Well, you're going to get there a lot sooner if they're chasing you, but if you're chasing them, it'll drag out. That's the truth of it. It's called human dynamics. The truth, okay? Wake up to the truth. Well, there you go. So you got a lot today. This is juicy stuff today, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah, very good.
Isn't that good, guys?
Good
That's
training. All right. Okay, so yeah, everybody should be both a borrower and a lender. Let's just make that clear. Okay. Everybody should be both a borrower and a lender. And that's the point of today's training. And then I've given you some tips on how to market, because I think we need to take advantage of all these text messages that we're getting anyway. I don't get any text messages, by the way, because I'm where I live, I'm above the cell phone tower. So my phone won't pick up any messages where I'm at. I'm up on
good.
a volcano over here, ace on the volcano. You know,
I know.
I'm above the cell phone tower, so my cell phones hardly ever get charged up because I'm pretty happy where I'm at, you know. So, uh, from time to time I go, I like to get out of here, but I did have a nice I went to a Thai restaurant yesterday. Boy, man, that was perfect. It was some of the best Thai food I ever had was yesterday. So anyway, so occasionally I leave, but I get what I want. I get a lot of ribeyes and salmon and things I like here, just staying here. I don't have to go anywhere special. Just just to live well. I got my swimming pool, I got
Is the
I got fresh air, Yeah.
is Thai food like the Indian food or sorta or
It's spicy, it's spicy. Yeah, it's curry is a common ingredient between the Indian and Thai,
sort of thought?
but it's a little like peppers. It's a little bit can be a little bit hotter than Indian food. But yeah, the other day I went to the we found a new Indian restaurant too that's really good. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can tell
The good life. It's the good
I
life.
eat I eat I eat well.
It is the good life. Goodness.
I have one more question.
Hey, Miki, go ahead.
Yeah. As we are being established, are you going to like plan to, okay, $100 loan a day, something like that? That will make the volume bigger.
I know people
I
have
mean,
asked that
after,
people asked that before, but I don't think globally we're ready to scale there yet. But with enough
I
inflation,
see.
we'll have to. When
Okay.
$50 becomes worthless, we'll scale up to 100. But under the current valuation and where the global economy is right now, I don't want to tempt people with more money than they feel like they could pay back. You know what I'm saying? So
Not
that's
like giving options, like you can make a 50 loans and then 100 loans and stuff like
the problem with that is then we could get into a situation where the borrowers are trashing the price of our coin because we've made it too
that. I see.
loose, right?
Gotcha.
So I try to do my analysis is 4 against 30, right?
I
So
see.
you can do 30 loans as a lender, right?
Uh-huh.
So the lenders are making money and they're happy, but they're not so fat that they're going to come back later and just gouge the price of our coin,
I
because
see.
they're getting rich too fast, right?
I
So
see.
30 limitation on them, 4 loans per month, because after all, the name of the website is micro lending, pool micro lending, and
Micro.
micro is actually smaller than small. Okay. So this isn't a small loan, this is a micro loan. Okay. And so all it is just to wet the whistle of people to understand that that's the idea of crypto. Crypto is an asset. Why would you ever sell it? Just borrow against it. And that's the mentality that we need to have in the world. And we're not there. We're a long ways away from that right now. Most people think of crypto as trade it, trade it, trade it, right? And
Ready for
almost
the
almost
short
all the
game.
traders I know personally, they're losing money. Okay. So like I've met a lot of traders. I was one myself. And it only takes one wipeout to to lose all the gains you had on the last 50 trades you did that were successful. It only takes one big wipeout to, wipe out. Hello, Mary, my Jersey girl. How you doing? You got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm really trying to thoroughly understand this.
Okay. I want you to
So,
understand.
yeah, because um I think I understand it, but then so what really is making it work is that people, so, okay, so if I lend the money and then I'm borrowing money, that's the double dip,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Because you're
So,
because you're getting free money over here and you're doubling your money over there. Yeah.
so my question is, then you're getting the rebate back. Is that considering,
The
is
the
that
re, the,
considered
the rebate
triple?
the rebate creates the free money. The double rebate creates the free
Right.
money. Yeah.
So is that considered a triple dip?
No, it's built into the free money offer. Without the rebate, it's not free, right? With the rebate, it is.
Mm. Right.
Because
So the
you
rebates,
went to the market with $100 to pay off a $50 loan, but then the rebate sent you $100 as a double rebate. So now, that market purchase to pay off the loan, but the loan, that's free money, that $50.
Wait, so that just shows up in your wallet.
Everything just shows up. Yeah, automatic.
It just, you don't have to do anything. It just shows up in your
It's
wallet.
exactly. Isn't that powerful? It
Very-
just
Yeah.
shows up. So
The
all
dynamics of
you
it.
got to do is engage, and that only takes a few seconds. Engage, and then everything else for the next 60 days is automatic.
And then
Right, so for this to really like see it really work, it's gonna take more than 1 month to see it work.
Of
Right.
course,
Yeah.
it takes 60
Yeah.
days, 6 zeros.
Right, yeah, okay, I'm just making sure I understand this
You're-
100%.
You are
know?
right. You are correct in what you're thinking. So yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, and then it's gonna show up in the wallet that you signed up on.
Yes, it
So-
does. Yeah, it's everything's done from a single wallet, both in and out. Yeah,
Okay, all right,
and again,
so,
the one person, one account. That rule applies as much to the PML website as it does all of our pool funding stuff.
certainly.
okay, all right, because I want to make sure I really understand this. And another question. This is basically what the banks are doing to our money, because for every, say, $100 that we have in the bank, they make $3,333 on every single $100 that we put in the bank, and they borrow against our money.
Yeah. So for the
And what
from the
people don't-
bank's point of view, they call that money creation. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
Well,
they're-
basically, that's what you're doing. Isn't that, am I correct?
Well, I'm already a
You're-
trillionaire on paper.
Right. But essentially, that's what we're doing is we're borrowing against our money. And that's why you shouldn't sell your coin or sell, like you should keep that money in. That's why
Yeah.
you were,
Yeah, don't sell,
way-
borrow against. That's the system. Rich
Right,
people know
and
the
then-
system. Yeah. Yeah.
right. But a lot of people don't realize that's how the banks make money.
And the
They
rich
use
people.
your money to make money.
Yeah. Yep. And rich
And
people.
that's
Yeah.
basically, right. And that's what this is doing. Am I correct?
You're 100% correct.
Okay. All right. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure I understand
No,
this. That's why we're,
I'm glad you understand.
She asks
Right.
good questions.
Yeah. So Jeffrey says you're asking good questions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so, yeah.
essentially, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But-
okay.
But we're doing
I know,
better.
because that's how I think we need to make people understand is this is already being done. This is just taking another group, like we're essentially becoming our own bank. This is a community bank.
Yeah,
And-
you could say that without the charter, right? So we don't have a charter, so because that's a
Right.
whole different category. So we're not officially becoming a bank, but we are behaving like a bank.
Like
And
a
it's just
bank,
easy,
right?
it's just easier to say be your own bank, but what we really mean is behave like a bank. That's what we mean by saying
Right.
be your own bank.
Right.
Means
Exactly.
behave like a bank.
And
Because-
their basic rules is you can't. I guess the part where I'm struggling with or really thoroughly understanding is I don't want somebody to come in, right, and decide, oh, I'm just going to pull out all my money. Then it's going to like crash it. Because essentially, if we all went to the bank at the same time and said, give me my money, it's going to crash the bank.
Makes a crash.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes a crash.
So again, that's what I'm saying is that if we treat this new website, the PML coin website, if we treat it like a savings account, then we're going to get the proper behavior. We don't want people to
Right.
leave all their money in there forever. We don't want that either, because then we could create the thing that you're worried about is someone might have a whole big chunk and then they come in and sell it all at one time and crash the whole community. We've been there on other things, right? We know what it feels like. But right
Okay,
now,
so that's why I'm trying to really thoroughly understand this.
But right now,
So,
I
so
showed the
you
holders.
want the money to flow in and out, in and out. It's like like
Yeah, but
flow.
not,
It's
but
like,
not necessarily every day. So we want you to accumulate money every day, but we don't want you to withdraw every day. Okay.
right. So like that's when you were saying every 10 days, take the
Yeah,
money out.
just randomly, right? And if I was watching the chart, I would say, yeah, we're getting up to like the high point of the price. I'm going to take out now, right? So if I'm going to take out money randomly, I want to take it out when it's high, not when it's low, right? So if I'm watching the movement of the chart, when it's doing this, okay, right here's a good time to take 200 out, okay?
Okay.
But
Hmm.
if it's going down here like that, and I take 200 out here, I'm making it go down more, right?
Right.
So that's
So I
that's really
guess
what
the rules
that's
of engagement are need to be clear. Like the rules of engagement,
that's the
you
whole point of
know.
training, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because if people stick to the rules, then it works.
That's the beautiful thing is that we're in charge. So if the community behaves properly, right? If we create proper
Hmm.
community behavior, then there's no way for us to come out short on this at all, ever.
Right.
This can last forever, what we're talking about, right? So that's why this particular video that I'm doing right now is a good one to store up and have handy to say, we're talking about how we want you to behave with this website in this video. This is your training
Right.
that you need to know.
Right.
You know?
It's probably
So
not going to
like,
change.
so a good rule of thumb would be like if you are a borrower, okay, and you do that, say every I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what is the benefit to borrow the all four, like 4 days in a row, as opposed to like spacing it out, like say every week, like do one
Yeah.
loan a week.
It
Like
would,
I'm trying to figure, I don't understand why.
Do one borrow.
I think the biggest benefit to doing it in one chunk and why I would sell it that way is this. I'll show it to you.
Hmm.
Okay. Go back to the website. You see the pipeline here? Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
So if everybody just did like one at a time, then this thing may just keep getting bigger and bigger. So right now, if we do math, that's 205 minus 165. So what is that? 40? Right?
It's 1/4.
So there's 40 open offers right now. But if the lenders are only able to do one per day, and if the borrower behavior is like just one at a time, then this thing could turn into 50, and then later 100, and then later 200, and then later this pipeline's got 500 in it, and then it's not flowing properly, right? So, but if two of you come in here and go bam, 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 that's one of you, and then the next one of you comes in and goes bam, 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 that's two of you. Now 8 of these offers are gone, and now there's only 32 offers left, and that's good because the lenders want to lend every day. They want their offers to be picked up every day. That's the behavior we want. So anybody who can afford to pay back 400 on 200 should. And if they can't, they should do what they can, whatever that might be, 1, 2, whatever they can afford. But if you can afford to come up with $400 a month from now, even if it's just for a couple of days, you should. You can do it all at one chunk instead of spreading it out because that's what's going to chew up the pipeline so that the lenders are happy. We want the lenders to be happy. That makes sense?
Getting free money.
Yes, it does to me now, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it makes a lot more sense to me now why I would do something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
four at a
Okay.
time. Yeah, do 4 at a
4
time
at a time, like in the same day.
every calendar month. Do 4 at a time every calendar month, right? And
So like
if everybody
say,
does that, that's gonna keep the pipeline more balanced. And
Yeah,
trust
okay.
me, that's what the lenders want. They want a balanced pipeline. Okay. They
Yeah.
do. All right.
Okay.
Joe,
All right.
Joe put his hand
Like,
up.
I just didn't understand. I couldn't figure out why that was important, and you made it much more clear.
The
Okay,
light,
thank
the light
you.
bulb went off. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good on
yeah.
you. Thank you,
Okay.
Mary. So Joe, what's on your mind, buddy?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to make a little comment, talking about, we can be the bank. Well, like you said, we're not actually, trying to be a bank. We are a private group, but we're more like a savings and loan with an emphasis on the savings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just that, it's just a comment that I wanted to make.
Yeah. So if you want
I
to
don't really
kind
have a
of
question,
if
but
you want to do proper comparison, I guess, as to,
Credit union.
credit
Credit
Yeah.
union, savings and loan, traditional bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot, banking has so many subcategories, but the thing about banks and the thing about, you know, banks and government, they're kind of like, you know, together, aren't they? You know, I'm trying to be nice. Okay.
Remember 2008?
Yeah.
Remember what they did in 2008? They
How,
they
how,
saved
how can
they
we
saved the
forget?
bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's the thing is that let's just bring it to current times right now. And right now they're doing a treasury auction for the 4 year I mean not 4 year for the 4 week, okay? So for the 4 week treasury note, and it's the biggest one ever. This is it's historic. So it's 100 billion in this auction. So that's happening now. Okay. So the Federal Reserve and the Treasury get together and they've got they've now that they're doing a $100 billion auction. That's the biggest one ever. The U.S. government. This is the biggest one. The last one was 95 billion. That was last month, but now it's 100 billion up on the 4 week Treasury. So that means that they want to keep the interest rates high, to cover that, right? That's why it's 4 weeks. But the longer ones like the 1 year, 2 year, 10 year treasuries, those bonds when they they're paying even less, right? So so short term they're expecting interest rates to stay high short terms. That's kind of what the point of it. But see, who does that protect? That protects the institutions.
Yes.
But those high values are hurting the people. Okay, the interest rates when they're that high, right?
Can't buy a house.
The 4 or
Can't buy.
5% or whatever that they're doing. That's actually having a negative impact on the people. And so technically, if you want to get technical, what's happening is called stagflation. So you have high inflation and you have slow growth. Okay, so that's really bad for people. But governments and banks, they do fine in that environment. But the people get screwed. Remember the 1970s? Okay. So
Yep.
that's where we're at right now. So the banks are, going to be protecting themselves at the expense of the people, right? Is that news to any of you? Okay.
Yeah, and the Federal Reserve, a lot of people think that that's a government, entity,
It
but
isn't.
it's not.
Private
It's
bank.
private. It's owned by private, the richest of the rich.
Yeah. JP
Yeah.
Morgan, yeah, names like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, nobody votes for them. They're
No,
Yeah,
they
they're-
just
please
did it,
don't get me started. Mhm.
Yeah.
and they named it the Federal Reserve in the hopes that it would sound like it was a government organization, so nobody would really question it.
It's deceptive. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's as much a government institution as Federal Express, the courier, is a department of the government, which is not,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it's a private bank, and there's a whole scandal. It goes back 100 years, big scandal. But the thing is that we know that at the top levels, government, institutions, banks, all of that, they're protecting themselves, right? So their decisions and their choices, wrap around that idea that, they want to preserve the status quo, which is themselves. Okay. The people, on the other hand, come second. Okay. Now that's not the way it should be, but that's how it is. So that means that you and I have to wake up to that reality and say, well, if that's how they're going to be, I guess we have to look after ourselves then. And we better do a better job at it because we're being screwed by these institutions. Okay.
Well, isn't that how the blockchain was formed?
They're exploiting us. And that's one of the reasons that, yeah, you're right, Jeffrey, like the blockchain was, intended to be an alternative to, a corrupt system, right? So the blockchain is software code, and it's, the beauty of it is that it's can never be changed, right? So you can't, change the numbers once they've been written, But with the banks, they're, shredding stuff all the time, right? And they're making up new paperwork, right? So that goes on. And even though it's illegal, they do it is, it's just what they do. So yeah, so that's why pool funding exists, because it's a place where people can come together so that we can, help each other, because we're not being helped at the top. We have to come together ourselves. If we don't, if we all stand individually, you know what I'm saying? Right? Then
We fall.
we're easy to pick off, right?
We fall.
But that's why we want to become a big group of people that our interest is for that of the people. We want people to get ahead financially, because they're under a lot of stress right now. See, I saw a video today, and in that video, it said that 62% of the people earning $300,000 a year can't afford to pay off their credit cards.
Say that again, Ace. What?
62% of the people earning $300,000 a year in the US can't afford to pay off their credit cards.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. And
That's
so
because they spend more than they earn. That's why.
it's they're in a different lifestyle. That's part of it. Sure, that's A. But the point is, the system is the problem, right? I mean, if you're good enough to make $300,000 a year out there, I mean, you're doing something. You're doing something right. If you're making $300,000, you're doing something right, right? But they're doing something right inside of a system that's parasitic, and it's corrupt, and it doesn't care about you.
Whoa. The real value of the dollar has dropped 28% since 2020. The
Yeah.
real value, the real.
Yeah, we call that purchasing power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the purchasing power. Yeah. Yeah, it's
You can't win against it.
Anyway, the game is rigged, You just have to accept that the system, that as it stands, it's not there for your benefit. It is by design eating you. It is consuming you, right? The system itself, in order for it to survive, it has to consume you, right? The American people, or the people of the world on a global scale, right? The systems are consuming the people, and so for its own survival.
Yep.
But we're at the end of the rope now, guys. I don't think that the system as it has been will make it much longer. So we either transition or we collapse. I'm really seeing a transition. I don't think we're going to collapse, guys. That's the good news. A collapse would be horrible. Would you guys agree?
Definitely.
All right.
If it's too fast, yes.
We're transitioning into crypto, and that should be a clue. Okay? Why? Why is the system transitioning into crypto? China's not buying the treasuries. Russia's not buying the treasuries. India's not buying. These countries that used to buy the U.S. treasuries all the time, they now are not buying. Okay. In fact, they've created their own little thing called BRICS. Okay.
BRICS.
Maybe heard of that. And so since those big buyers can't come in and put 100 billion in this auction that's happening now, okay, the countries aren't doing it. They have turned to stablecoin. Now the system's transitioning where the stablecoins have to buy the treasuries in order to be called a stablecoin. That's the deal. That's the Genius Act that was just passed last month. So now the backbone of the current new financial system is blockchain, and currently stablecoins, but it'll expand from there. And why?
We-
Because it is absolutely where we have to go. Now, we could let the institutions have their way, and they could corrupt they could corrupt the cryptocurrency thing to to how it benefits them, and they still get away with everything they've gotten away with before, just on the new layout. Or the people can wake up and say, now that we're in transition, maybe we make a few changes so we don't get screwed anymore. You know what I'm saying? Pool funding, one of those changes. You guys get it?
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
Is that
Vehicle.
we're taking a stand by coming together in these meetings. We're saying, hey, we could do this better so that people don't get hurt. We're not trying to be against anyone. We're not trying to destroy governments. We're not doing anything that is destructive. We just are, as we're watching the institutions implode, we just want to have something that we can count on. And if we have to create it ourselves, that's exactly what we're doing. We're creating our own way to protect ourselves from
Aren't we creating a
what's happening anyway.
deflationary asset? Aren't
Yeah.
we creating a deflationary asset?
Yeah. I mean, think about why is there only 10,000 pool funding gold coins? Only 10,000 of them. That's a deflationary number, that limitation, right? And there's only 100,000 of pool funding silver coins, and only a million of the pool funding bronze, and only 10 million of the pool funding iron coins. So if you compare that to Bitcoin, there's 21 million Bitcoin. So all of our coins are smaller, on pool funding. All those numbers are smaller, creating what you're calling deflationary, right? Meaning that the value has to go up because they're scarce. And we're just going to start the price high. That's all we're doing. We're just saying we know the price is going to go high anyway, but we're just going to start there as the beginning point, and then even go higher from there. And then that way, we don't do anything that's going to have a negative impact on the market by doing it that way. But I don't want to go deep on that right now. Why? I just want to say that by having these high prices, we're not going to have. There's no way we're injuring the market by doing it that way. It really puts us more in a container. We kind of are in a self-contained environment with our high prices. And it's a good thing, right? So
Yeah.
all the strategies I'm putting out there are meant to benefit you and as individuals, and me, right? All of us as individuals, because we know the institutions they don't care. They don't care about the individual. They don't. Wake up. Okay. And so go ahead, Jeffrey.
It's fascinating because the dollar is inflationary, and it's running out of room. It's running out of time.
Yeah, because
know what I mean?
there's no limit to how many dollars that can be printed, right? I don't. Does
That's like you
does
pay
anybody
this-
have an idea how many dollars there are in existence right now? If I ask the same question next week, it's going to be a higher number. Okay, right? That's how it
Right.
works, right?
Can't
It's,
print
it's
money
an, it's,
forever.
it's an ever-changing number that just goes bigger and bigger, making the purchasing power of all the dollars that you hold go down and down. Anyway, we're super excited. I love it, but I do want to put a time limit on the video, right? So, yep, Greg's he's written a note here. He's gonna go get some sleep. So, but yeah, we need to come to an end, guys. We're excited though, right? We're excited.
Fascinating.
But just remember today, the point of today's training is that everyone in pool funding should be both the borrower and the lender. Just do so responsibly. That's the message today in a nutshell. Okay. All right. So we can all, let's go ahead and say, everybody unmute and say, yeah, I'm going to go get 4 loans. All of you that are going to do it, I'm going to go get 4 loans. How about we do
Mhm.
that? Everybody end by saying, I'm going to go get 4 loans if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get.
I'm gonna go get 4 loans.
I'm gonna go
I've
get
got my 4 loans.
Why not?
All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Right.
Good night.